So we have already went into detail about the shrines or the altars. This is another definition of the shrine. In Latin, scrinium, a case or chest for books or papers. In Old French, escrin, a box or case. A sacred space dedicated to a specific deity, ancestor, hero, martyr, saint, daemon, or similar figure of respect wherein they are venerated or worshipped. Shrines often contain idols, relics, or other such objects associated with the figure being venerated. A shrine at which votive offerings are made is called an altar. Shrines are found in many of the world's religions, including Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Chinese folk religion, Shinto, indigenous Philippine folk religions, and Germanic paganism, as well as in secular and non-religious settings, such as a war memorial. Shrines can be found in various settings, such as churches, temples, cemeteries, or as household shrines. Portable shrines are also found in some cultures. You can check out my other videos on the altars and high places in Bamas. So now we're going to talk about the sacred groves, specifically groves of America, in the area of the Mississippi River and surrounding areas. So the definition of the sacred grove, sacred woods, or sacred forest are groves of trees that have special religious importance within a particular culture. Sacred groves feature in various cultures throughout the world. These are forest areas that are, for the most part, untouched by local people and often protected by local communities. They often play a critical role in protecting water sources and biodiversity, including essential resources for the groups that protect them. They were important features of the mythological landscape and cult practice of Celtic, Estonian, Baltic, Germanic, Ancient Greek, Near Eastern, Roman, and Slavic polytheism. They are also found in locations such as India, Japan, China, West Africa, and Ethiopia, called church forests. Examples of sacred groves include the Greco-Roman temenos, various Germanic words for sacred groves, and the Celtic nemeton, which was largely but not exclusively associated with Druidic practice. During the Northern Crusades of the Middle Ages, conquering Christians commonly built churches on the sites of sacred groves. The Lakota and various other Northern American tribes regard particular forests or other natural landmarks as sacred places. Singular trees which a community deems to hold religious significance are known as sacred trees. Now, the Lakota, again, are the ones who are known as the ones who scattered their own. And we're going to go deeper into that people, because they are considered the northern tribes of North America. So these are the groves of the ancient Near East. Now we are going to compare these to the groves of North America. The Bible includes elements of the tradition of sacred groves. The Garden of Eden, as portrayed in the book of Genesis, is viewed as a divine paradisical grove. In Judaism and Christianity, the garden is often interpreted as the idealized afterlife paradise. In Christianity, it represents a state of purity and communion with God before the fall of man. The Garden of Eden is also regarded as a symbolic station in the journey of the kingdom of heaven, which will be fully realized at the second coming of Christ. In Gethsemane, the olive grove where Jesus prayed before his crucifixion, Christians believe the garden symbolizes divine interaction with nature, marking a pivotal moment in Christian salvation history. Similarly, Abraham's grove And Abraham planted a grove in Beersheba and called thereon the name of God, in Genesis chapter 21, verse 33, emphasizes the religious importance of groves as sites for worship and connection to God. Groves served as symbolic representations of deity, as in 2 Kings chapter 23, verse 7, where the women weave hangings for the grove. As Judaism became increasingly monotheistic and temple-oriented, the former traditions of worship in rural groves came to have connotations of paganism, apostasy, and backsliding. In both Judaism and Christianity, sacred groves were often protected spaces where worship was believed to maintain the divine order, and their destruction was considered sacrilegious. Excavations at Labranda, located in present-day Turkey, have uncovered a significant sacred grove dedicated to Zeus Stratios, a deity associated with the protection of the people and the well-being of the land. The grove was central to the Carian people, serving as a space for both religious ceremonies and communal gatherings. The ritual use of this grove highlights the belief in trees as intermediaries between the divine and human realms, where offerings and prayers were made to ensure divine favor and prosperity. Similarly, at Afqua, located in Lebanon, there was a sacred grove dedicated to Adonis, a god of fertility, death, and rebirth. The Adonis Grove was a focal point for fertility rites, symbolizing the seasonal cycle of nature. As with other sacred groves in the ancient world, the trees here were seen as living symbols of the deity's presence, reinforcing the connection between nature, agriculture, and the divine. The reverence for groves dedicated to gods like Zeus and Adonis shows how sacred natural spaces were integral to the religious and social fabric of ancient Near Eastern cultures. These sacred groves often became the heart of religious life in their respective regions, not only as sites for ritual, but also of places of healing and divine communication, reinforcing the deep connection between nature and the divine in ancient belief systems. Very funny that the only grove mentioned for the Americas is the Lakota again, specifically, but it does state that various other North American tribes consider particular forests or other natural landmarks to be sacred. So specifically, we are going to go into the Lakota and the areas that they consider to be sacred landmarks. We will make a difference between the sacred and the profane.